Sup? In this video, we cut through the hype surrounding the most recent King of the Monsters flick and answer the stupid question: how did Japan beat Hollywood to the greatest Godzilla movie of all time?
Golly, I'm being exotic, machines is robotic, so we can make billions from building a hobby.
Welcome back to Revenge of the Nerd. Godzilla Minus One has been the talk of timelines since its Japanese release in October of 2023. And like only America can do, as this buzz worked its way over to the West, culminating in a December 1st release in the US, Warner Brothers sought to capitalize on the hype by releasing its own trailer for its 2024 installment of their MonsterVerse series, Godzilla Kong. And yes, it's pronounced Godzilla Kong. Shout out to New Rockstars for fumbling that one. The cliche monster mashup's poor reception only fueled the fire behind Minus One's hype train, leading many to question, how did Japan surpass Hollywood in creating the ultimate Godzilla film? Let's discuss. To begin, I was curious if the movie would be a remake of the 1950s classic, or if it would be a retelling of sorts like Legendary Pictures' 2014 MonsterVerse Reboot. Spoilers from here on out, kids. If you haven't seen it yet, pause here and come back right after you've seen Godzilla Minus One, still in theaters. Long story short, the film serves as a sort of reboot of the lore. I wanted to liken it to the retelling of the original as if it was another person's account of the same event, but after like 3 watches and a re-examination of the classic, the differences make that a bit of a stretch. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of callbacks and nods to the original. For example, the locals of Odo Island once again play a role in naming the monster Godzilla and are accountable for its origin and lore. Nuclear blasts are again responsible for the monster's evolution. There's another news crew atop of a building risking their lives while reporting on the monster destroying a town. Even the score by Naoki Sato pays homage to Akira Ifukube's iconic theme for The King of Monsters, as sampled by the Pharoah Monch hip-hop classic Simon Says.
Simon Says, get the fuck up, throw your hands in the sky.
But it's where the film takes its departure that really sets things ablaze. So let's talk about storytelling for a sec. As opposed to diabolical plots from mysterious organizations, underground worlds of colossal creatures, and storylines based around Hollywood A-listers, Godzilla Minus One is a redemption story of a World War II pilot, Tsukishima, the protagonist who's fled his duty as a kamikaze pilot, whose actions, or rather lack thereof, are echoed when first confronted by the monster, resulting in the death of an entire military aircraft maintenance detachment. Tsukishima then comes home, firebombing of Tokyo, and his parents subsequently lost in the ashes. As he tries to pick himself up and move on with life, he's haunted over and over again by the consequences of his actions and inactions, carrying the blame for countless lives lost due to Godzilla's continued rampage. It isn't until Tsukishima's despair turns to anger that we actually see him take action to avenge those lost, culminating in a kamikaze mission of sorts to fly a bomb right into the mouth of the monster.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
The storytelling from director Takashi Yamakaze and the earth-shattering performance of the lead actor, Ryunosuke Kamiki, send you into a nosedive of turmoil spiraling through loss, regret, PTSD, hope, more loss, rage, and ultimately revenge, culminating in a redemption that quite literally brought this grown man to tears 3 times. It's not that hard to do, though. The story setting of post-war Japan grounds it in a familiar reality, but also expresses a perspective of World War II that we in the Western mainstream don't often get to experience. The country's distrust and loss of faith in their government, the atrocities its people experienced during the war, and the all too familiar nuance of politicians being too detached from its people. This is important to why this movie is so well received. Hollywood has long been great at telling stories of war from an American perspective. Think of Pearl Harbor and Lone Survivor. These are stories that could only be told by America, so naturally, the story of Japan's post-war experience and struggles to recover are a perspective that only could be told by Japan. Godzilla is f***ing terrifying. Like no really. This portrayal of the King of Monsters is unique in that it jumps right into the action of the horror of being faced with this lost-in-time T-Rex dinosaur, Jurassic Park style, then throws you into a rickety boat in the vastness of the ocean with the evolved beast chasing you down like Jaws with one of the most horrifying faces I've ever seen in media, and then has Godzilla rampaging through towns in broad daylight, reminding you that you aren't safe anywhere. Also, there aren't many explosions everywhere. Instead, there's just rubble, dust, and debris, making it feel more like a demolition site than a Michael Bay film. This is so grounding for the audience because it removes a good chunk of fantasy and sci-fi from a very fantastical and science fiction concept, and thus creates a space of realism like never before. I mean, like, even Godzilla's atomic breath or heat ray charges up like Mega Man's Buster and then flies out of his mouth at the speed of light like a laser beam out of an 80s anime, but the true horror actually lies in the shockwave that's sent from the blast radius and the radiation left behind. This Godzilla is truly a work of art. And did I mention he's terrifying? I mean, like, the final face that the monster makes right before firing its heat ray is like absolutely insane. It's like something out of Death Note if the demons were like Attack on Titan size. Now marry that with a believable mix of VFX and practical special effects, and you have the greatest monster film of all time. No neon lights, no corny monster mashups, no BS. Just the world as we can believe it, and an unbelievable circumstance made to be more believable than it ever has. Godzilla Minus One emerges as a cinematic triumph, surpassing Hollywood's recent attempts and earning its place as the greatest Godzilla film of all time. This film stands as a testament to the power of storytelling and the ongoing appeal of the King of Monsters. As the monster movie genre evolves, Godzilla Minus One will remain a towering achievement and a cinematic masterpiece for all time. But what are your thoughts on the movie? Do you think it lived up to its hype? Leave a comment below, and while you're at it, give us a like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, I'll holla.
And we die, yeah, and we die.